Nadine Dorries formally handing in her resignation letter?
Well, firstly, I'm just really relieved for residents across Mid Bedfordshire. They have been caught up in this civil war that is raging at the heart of the Conservative Party. But now Nadine Dorries has lifted the block on having the by-election. So this is good news for them because they have been focusing residents across Mid Bedfordshire on the cost of living crisis, which is really impacting people there. They have been absolutely hit by the waiting lists to see a doctor and in the NHS, the public service is on their knees. They've wanted to have this by-election so they can move forward, and they've been held back by this civil war raging in the Conservative Party. So it doesn't surprise me that the letter that she has written is excoriating. It doesn't surprise me because Rishi Sunak has been having a go at her recently. But whilst the Conservatives are facing each other and rowing with each other, we in the Labour Party have our candidate Alistair Strathern in place. He's been working his socks off since June so that we can actually prepare an alternative, a hard-working, dedicated alternative for residents in Mid Bedfordshire, because we think it's the alternative that people need there.
OK, we'll come to that. I just want to pick up on the fact that you sound like you agree with Nadine Dorries on quite a few things, at least about Prime Minister Rishi Sunak.
Well, look, they've been at war with each other for so long. I agree with people who are residents in Mid Bedfordshire because I spent a lot of time in Mid Bedfordshire since this by-election became a possibility. And they are furious with the fact that there is a governing party that is facing each other and rowing with each other whilst they are facing daily crises in their lives and in their communities, with public services, with the economy, with the cost of living challenges. And whereas they want to move forward, they've been held back by all of this civil war in the Conservative Party and the fact that they've had an MP that is absent, that has not been working and is not been allowing the by-election to take place. So now we have this opportunity. The finish line is in sight, or the start line for a new future for Mid Bedfordshire, and we're chomping at the bit for that.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and you mentioned your candidate is ready and poised and out campaigning already. Alistair Strathern, you mentioned there. But it is a Tory safe seat, and even Nadine Dorries says it is a fact there is no affection for Keir Starmer out on the doorstep. He doesn't have the winning X factor. So even though you mentioned Tory infighting, and even though Nadine Dorries has this, 4 or 5 page resignation letter, there's still not the X factor for the Labour Party there either.
Well, as we saw in Selby, where Labour Party, with Keir Starmer's leadership and a great local candidate, we overturned a 20,000 Conservative majority just in recent weeks. Now, the Conservative majority in Mid Bedfordshire is now almost 25,000, so it's an even bigger challenge for us. But it is one that we are actually prepared for. We saw a poll that was actually on the front page of the Telegraph just in recent weeks that showed that the Labour Party is ahead in Mid Bedfordshire. We are relishing the fact that we have an opportunity to connect with residents in parts of the country where we've never been able to connect to before, even in the 1990s with Tony Blair as leader. So we're doing so now. There is evidence to show, independent evidence, as well as our own experiences in Mid Bedfordshire, to show that actually we are actually in a great position to win this seat in what would be an historic by-election victory. We're excited. I think people in Mid Bedfordshire are excited that they can actually think differently, because the truth is that people are done with a party which has taken them for granted for too long, which has driven our public services into a ditch, where our economy has no growth and isn't delivering for people in Mid Bedfordshire. Well, now they have a great opportunity to think differently. We're just working hard so that we can connect with those residents, show there is a working alternative with a great hard-working candidate and a party that is ready to serve them. With Alistair Strathern, he will put the community first and party second. And I think that people in Mid Bedfordshire deserve a bit of that.
OK, you're going to have your chance for your party campaigning and political broadcast another time too. Peter Carr, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Of course, we'll wait for the ballot box for that result.